Look, I'm just going to say it. But the American car industry is officially in a state of emergency. While we've been over here in the States high-fiving each other because our EVs can finally go 300 miles without a meltdown, a tech company, Huawei, partnered with JAC and just dropped a vehicle that makes a Mercedes-Maybach look like a 2010 BlackBerry. I am looking at the 2026 Maextro S800 and I'm genuinely physically upset that we can't have this. But wait, there's a massive plot twist. Canada, our neighbors to the north, just did the unthinkable. They officially removed the heavy tariffs on Chinese EVs in early 2026. That means while we are stuck behind a wall of trade wars and dealership markups, this literal spaceship is officially landing on North American soil in Toronto and Vancouver. You can practically smell the jealousy from Detroit. Let's start with the front of this thing because it is the most aggressive, most I'm richer than you face I have ever seen on a sedan. It's called the Galaxy Scroll Design Language. And bro, I'm not exaggerating. It looks like they took a chunk of the night sky and flattened it into a bumper. Those headlights, they aren't just LEDs. They're starlight lamps featuring dual million-pixel light language modules. They don't just turn on, they project. They can literally draw a crosswalk on the road for pedestrians or project the Maextro logo onto a wall like a Batman signal. The grille is a closed-off, deep-gloss black panel with 96 faceted crystal, elements that catch the light like a diamond. And check out the hood. It's got these deep, aerodynamic channels that flow into hidden air curtains. But look at the roof. That little bump. That's the flagship 192-line LiDAR sensor, part of a 32-sensor array that gives this car more eyes than a high-security vault. It makes my Tesla's camera-only setup look like a pair of cheap binoculars from the 90s. Walking to the side of the S800 is a humbling experience. This thing is an absolute unit. 5,000 print 80 me long? That's nearly 18 FTEV car. It's longer than a BMW 7 Series and has a 370. Wheelbase that basically guarantees you'll never feel a single pothole again. The stance is just offensive. It's sitting on stellar rotation wheels, 21 and 30 spoke alloys that have self-leveling center caps. Yeah, the logo stays upright while the wheel spins, just like a Rolls-Royce. The doors are frameless and handleless. You don't touch a handle, you just point at the door and the millimeter wave sensors detect your presence and swing it open up. To 77er. It even knows if a bike is passing and will wait for it. It's got electronic side mirrors that are so thin they look like needles, contributing to a drag coefficient of 0.206. That's more aerodynamic than a literal bullet. Why do our luxury cars still have chunky plastic mirrors like a 2005 Ford Taurus? It's embarrassing. But the rear is where the designers really decided to hurt our feelings. The light bar is a nebula light language strip that looks like flowing lava. It's thick, it's 3D, and it wraps around the quarters in a way that makes the car look 10 FT wide. There's an active spoiler that stays flush until you hit 60 mph, at which point it deploys to keep this 6,000 lb beast glued to the pavement. There's no exhaust, obviously, but the diffuser is finished in this high-end Kunlun silver purple, paint that shifts colors depending on how the sun hits it. I'm looking at this and then I think about the Cadillac Celestiq that costs $340,000. And I'm like, why does this $100,000 car look twice as expensive? Canada is about to become the luxury car capital of the world, and I'm officially considering moving to Ontario just for the car meets. Now, let's talk about the powertrain because the engineering here is just as insane as the lights. The Maextro S800 is built on the Tuling long-range 800-volt architecture. In simple English, it's got the Kill-In Battery 2.0, developed with CATL. The pure EV version has 97 kW of juice and can add 200 miles of range in exactly 5 minutes. Bro, I can't even get through a YouTube ad in 5 minutes, and this car is already ready for a road trip. We're talking 800 horsepower in the triple motor AWD trim. It does 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. And if you're worried about range, they have an EREV version, extended range, that uses a 1.5L turbo engine purely as a generator. That one has a total range of over 820 miles. You could drive from New York to Chicago on one charge and a tiny tank of gas and still have range to cruise around the city. Our domestic brands are out here struggling to hit 350 miles. And Huawei just lapped us twice. Safety. This car practically refuses to let you crash. It's got the active safe suite with Huawei ADS 4.0. It uses 4 LiDAR sensors, multiple 4D millimeter wave radars, and high-def cameras to build a 3D world in real time. If it senses an imminent side impact, the air suspension will actually lift the car on the side of the impact in milliseconds, so The strongest part of the frame, the door sills, takes the hit instead of the door panel. It has crab walk capability too. The rear wheels can turn 16 dirt. For context, a Mercedes S-Class only does 10. This 18FT limousine has a turning radius, smaller than a Volkswagen. Golf. It's literally cheating at physics. I watched the video of this thing navigating past 7 Maybachs in a tight parking lot using its crab walk, and I've never felt more technologically illiterate in my life. Okay, I can't wait anymore. We have to go inside. If you thought the exterior was wild, the interior is going to make you want to go back to school and get a better job. Open the door, and you aren't greeted by a car. You're greeted by a lounge. The dashboard is a Galaxy, mirror triple screen, a 12.3-in driver display, a 15.6-in center hub, and a massive 16-in screen just for the passengers so they can watch Netflix while you navigate. But don't look at the screens. Look at the roof. It's a starry sky ceiling inspired by the Big Dipper that simulates meteor showers. Actual shooting stars streak across the suede headliner. The materials, we're talking hand-polished crystal knobs, real wood veneers with a 4% acceptance rate, meaning they throw away 96% of the wood because the grain doesn't match, and full-grain semi-aniline leather with 0.2mm stitching. There isn't a single piece of cheap plastic in sight. Even the floor mats are pure wool. I've stayed in 5-star hotels that weren't this nice. But the back seat is the main event. It's a 4-seat executive layout with zero-gravity dual rear seats. They recline to 148.5. When you hit nap mode, the front passenger seat folds flat, a leg rest comes out, and the seat adjusts your posture to minimize pressure on your spine. It feels like floating. But wait, there's a 40-in OLED projection screen that drops from the ceiling. A 40-in screen. You have a private cinema in your back seat, and it's paired with a 2020 Huawei Sound Ultimate system with 43 speakers. Yes, 43. There are speakers in the headrests, speakers in the ceiling, and even Pansy woofers in the doors that rotate 90 degrees to deliver bass you can feel in your soul. It has voice encryption technology too. If you're on a business call in the back, the front, headrest speakers emit a frequency that prevents the driver from hearing your conversation. It's a rolling fortress of solitude. Practicality, yeah, it's a limousine, but it still does the job. You've got a 445L trunk that's lined with tufted carpet. Seriously, even the trunk is fancy. There's a 62L frunk in the front for your charging cables or a small carry-on. In the back, the center console houses a refrigerated wine cooler that goes from 6 to plus 150 degrees C. You can keep your champagne at the perfect tempi, or keep your Starbucks warm. There are twin 50-watt wireless chargers in the back, fold out, tray tables with integrated makeup mirrors, and a detachable touchscreen tablet to control the entire car. It's got more tech than a Silicon Valley office. Yet, you could fit a massive Costco haul in the trunk if you really wanted to. It's the ultimate daily driver for someone who never wants to actually drive. Now let's talk about the moment you've been waiting for. The price. In China, the Maextro S800 starts at 708,000 yuan. That is roughly 99,000 USD, the top-of-the-line triple motor. 43-speaker I Own the World trim. About 142,000, let that sink in. For the price of a well-equipped Mercedes E-Class or a base Tesla Model S Plaid, you're getting a car that competes and wins against the $200,000 Maybach S680 or a $400,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost. It's a literal bargain in the world of ultra-luxury. And since Canada just cleared the path, these are going to be showing up on the streets of North America for a fraction of what we pay for. Luxury here, it's a total game changer. America is sitting behind a fence watching the party. And honestly, I'm about to jump the fence. But look, I need to dig deeper into why this car is actually breaking my brain. It's the Tuling long-range chassis. This isn't just a frame, it's a digital nervous system. Most cars have a suspension that reacts to a bump when it hits it. The S800 is different. Its road surface preview system uses the LiDAR to scan the road 1,000 times per second. It sees a pothole 50 ft away and adjusts. The air springs and dampers before the tire even touches the edge. It's called a magic carpet ride, but honestly, it's more like flying. I've driven luxury cars in the US that still make you feel like you're in a blender on a gravel road. In this thing, you could perform open heart surgery in the back seat while doing 80 on the freeway. And the satellite communication system, this is where it gets spooky. Huawei put a satellite antenna in the roof. If you're driving through the Canadian Rockies or the middle of the Mojave Desert where there's zero cell signal, you can still make calls and send texts through the car. It's a literal lifeline. And if you get into an accident, the Angel Seat system doesn't just deploy airbags. It sends your exact GPS coordinates via satellite to emergency services, along with a 360° video of the crash so they know exactly what they're walking into. It even pre-unlocks all 4 doors and turns on the hazard lights to project a warning onto the asphalt. It's like the car is a sentient bodyguard that's obsessed with your survival. Let's talk about the isolation in this thing. Huawei claims a 30 decibel isolation between the front and rear rows. That means the driver could be listening to heavy metal at full volume, and you in the back could be whispering a business deal, and neither of you would hear the other. They use active noise cancellation speakers built into the headrests that create an anti-noise bubble. I've had private conversations in $150,000 American sedans where the driver could hear me breathe. In the S800, you have more privacy than a confession booth. And the Harmony OS cabin isn't just about screens. It's about the air. It has a medical-grade purification system that detects smells. Yes, even that fast food smell, and neutralizes it in seconds using a dual-flow circulation system. It's the first car that actually cares if you're breathing clean air or city smog. I honestly think we are seeing the death of badge snobbery. For decades, people bought a Mercedes or a BMW because it was the most advanced thing on the road. But look at this. S800. It has more LiDAR units than most American cars have cup holders. It has a range extender that lets you cross entire states without stopping. It has a 40-inch movie screen in the back that makes a theater look cramped. And it's built by a company that understands software better than any traditional car maker in history. When this hits the streets of Toronto, people aren't going to care that it doesn't have a German logo. They're going to care that it feels like a private jet on wheels. And the performance numbers, let's revisit that. The tri-motor EREV version pushes out 852 horsepower. That's more than a Dodge Hellcat in a luxury limousine that consumes 0.09 of fuel per 100 km in hybrid mode. That is mind-boggling efficiency. It's like having a supercar that costs less to run than a moped. The pure EV version with the 5C kill-in battery can go from 10% to 80% charge in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. That's literally the time it takes to walk into a gas station, buy a snack, and walk back out. The charging anxiety argument is officially dead. The only anxiety I have is whether I can get a Canadian work visa fast, enough to buy one of these. So here's the real talk. We're in 2026, the world has changed. The tariff wall in Canada has a 49,000 vehicle-sized hole in it, and the Maextro S800 is ready to drive right through it. While we in the US are being protected from these cars, are we actually just being left behind? Are we being forced to pay double for technology that's 5 years old? I look at this car and I don't see a threat. I see a challenge. I want our car companies to see this and say, okay, we need to do better. Because right now, better is sitting in a warehouse in Shenzhen waiting to be shipped to Vancouver. Look, I know some of you are going to say, but it's a Chinese car. What about the quality? Bro, JAC has been building commercial vehicles and high-end EVs for decades. Huawei has been the king of hardware integration before most of us had smartphones. This isn't a knockoff. This is the pinnacle of their industry. The doors have quad redundancy unlocking. The roof can withstand 16 tons of pressure. The leather is hand-stitched with a precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker sweat. It's a tank in a tuxedo. I'm genuinely excited for my friends in Canada. I really am. I can't wait to see the first S800 cruising down Yonge Street, making every other luxury car look like a prop from a black and white movie. I'll be there, camera in hand, trying not to look too jealous as I film it. But seriously, the Maextro S800 is the most advanced luxury sedan ever built. And it's not even close. It's a masterclass in what happens when you stop asking, what do people want? And start asking, what is the absolute limit of what we can build? So, final question for the night, and I want you to be honest. If you lived in Canada and you had $120,000 to spend on a luxury car, are you honestly telling me you'd buy a Tesla model? Shh. Are you honestly saying you'd pick a base, BMW E7, over a car with a shooting star roof, a 40-inch cinema, 43 speakers, and a satellite phone? I think the silence in the comments is going to be deafening. Drop your thoughts below. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm right. Either way, just say something. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe to Drag and Drive for more of the most insane car tech on the planet. And stay tuned because next week we're looking at a Chinese SUV that can literally float across a lake. I'm not kidding. You're not going to want to miss that. Peace.